What's going on, guys? New season 2025. Lost the GoPro, so don't have a GoPro anymore. I don't know where that's at. I'm sure it's in the basement somewhere. This year I'm gonna make it super sweet and simple. Private property. I spent a good amount of time late summer, early fall, handwriting notes using Onyx to get people's addresses. And I sent 5 letters, and I got permission for 2 properties totaling, I want to say, almost 300 acres. So essentially, just there's a bridge near their property. Oh, there's Beaver Dam. Let me write down a letter for them. I set traps all yesterday. I think I set 14 beaver traps and 14 muskrat traps. So this is the first check. Wasn't going to bother anybody with doing setup videos. If you're watching for catches, not necessarily people setting up traps. So we're gonna walk down to this spot. Just drove by the bridge. We do got a beaver, so I'll show you guys the sign I looked for by the road, and we'll get to it. So right here's the bridge. I'm not going to show too much around, just so people don't know where I'm at. There's a giant tree here. They're gnawing on it. And it's not like it's a very small tree, but they got to run. As you can see, right down in here to the water. And there's barbed wire there. So I got my drowning rod there, and you can see the circle with the big old brown thing in the middle. I did set some muskrat traps. They didn't get hit at all. Not right here anyways. I got traps set up by the dam down this creek. Well, I'll get you guys a video of this when I get it up into the truck. It looks like a pretty decent sized beaver. Well, this is the first one of the day. I'd guess it's probably 45 pounds. Almost about 2/3 of the tailgate. We'll hit the next spot. So while we're driving to this next spot, just kind of want to go over my goals for the year. So I put myself at 20 beavers this year. I got 3 last year. Before season started, I had a buddy. We welded up some drowning rods, and so I actually trapped, a couple weeks ago, and just to, like, test them out. And I got 5 beaver that weekend. I got a 63 pounder, which was a huge beaver. Obviously it's my PB. So I set myself at 20 beaver. I'm already 30% there, especially with this one I just got. So right now I'm just focusing on beaver and muskrats. It looks like the week after Thanksgiving it's going to get super cold, and these creeks might actually just freeze up sooner than they did last year. So I want to get all this out of the way, and then I'll come through all these areas and set coyotes and raccoons. I do have 1 coyote set out today, so we'll see if that turns up anything. I highly doubt it, but I can give it a whirl. But we're almost to this next spot, and I'll let you guys know if we got anything. So here's the dam I'm working with. It's only about 3 feet tall, but it's backed up. They backed this up for about a mile. The property owner did say there was river otter in here too. So I had a set on the other side here, and I got 1 set here that wasn't touched. And I've got muskrat set here that wasn't touched. And I got 1 set over here. I don't see the trap at all. Man, very silty bottom. What do we got? Do we have anything? Hey, we do have a rat. Whoa, that drops off. Let me see. I'll get you guys a better look here in a second. So I'm actually pretty excited. This is the first muskrat I've ever caught. It's just a low creek. I saw him swimming in here yesterday. That's why I wanted to set some of these, but not a bad looking rat. I got 4 more. I got 4 more. I got 2 more rat sets down this stream, and then we're done at this spot. So we're at the second property. I got a big dam right there that I'm working off of. First spot here, something definitely hit my caster mound. Tripped the trap. However, I do see what I believe to be a beaver tail right there. So I have to kind of make our way around at the bottom of the dam. I've got another trap set at the bend, and then all the way at the other end of the property, there's another more fresher dam that I've got a bunch of traps set on. So I'm hoping for something big. That's what we can hope for. I'll catch up when we get over there. So yeah, first, when I started first trapping, it was always set on side and set on sign. That's truly what it is. There was already a caster mound here. I just added a little bit, threw some lure on there. And there's a beaver down there. It's amazing how that works. He ain't as big as the first one we got this morning, but still an okay size. All right, we're right at the bend, right here. Had another trap here. It's no longer here. We'll see what we got. Man, this really sucks without having a GoPro. Tell you what, I gotta take some time and look for it. Please don't be a raccoon. Huh? Okay. Well, I guess I'm going to kick around down there and see if there's anything sitting there, because that's weird. Nothing in the trap, so. All right. I guess I'll take a look. Yeah, this beaver here actually isn't that bad of a size. I mean, I got a 12 size foot. It's a big beaver. Anyways, I looked at that trap a little bit more carefully, and there was some hair in there. So I don't think I got a full, obviously I didn't get a full lockdown, but there was enough hair there to get that trap drug down. But, oh, you know what? I'm going to carry this with both hands. If you guys want to fund me a GoPro, if I can't find it, that'd be fantastic. Well, I pulled up and I was driving down the road, and there was something in my foothold, and it was black, and I go, well, I got a raccoon in it. Well, when I pulled up, it was the angriest, biggest, blackest tomcat I think I've ever seen. So he was trying to fight me when I was getting him out of the trap. I wasn't going to try to videotape that. But anyways, we got a creek down there. I think there's I got 3 traps set back there, so we'll hope for something. So I think my plan kind of backfired on me. I got a 330 right here, and I think I've learned my lesson. I took a couple sticks off to make the water go a little bit faster, and they just threw some more stuff in here and set off my trap, which is amazing. I got one trap up there. I could see the trap still sitting there, and let's walk over. That big old tomcat's throwing me off. I feel kind of bad, but his leg wasn't torn up, and it was just a Duke number 2. So should be all right. Full recovery. God. Well, there's a little beaver. He ain't very big, but I'll take him. I don't know if I want to reset that 330 or not. I guess I'll decide here in a minute, but well, I'll get this guy pulled out and keep moving. So I did end up resetting that 330, but 2 beaver off of this guy's property. One thing I'm doing is I'm sending pictures of what I catch and sending to the owner. He's trying to replant trees in here, and these guys keep cutting them down. So I'm gonna pull this foothold and then off to the last. We're going to public ground. There's quite a bit set there. All right, so I'm gonna try not to show as much of the scenery as possible since this is a public ground. I spend a lot of time finding my sets and whatnot. So got this giant den here in a big food cache. I mean, it's giant. They used to have a den on the other side of the road here, but they have kind of abandoned it, really. So it looks like I still got a trap sitting there. What about down here? Well, I'm not seeing anything. Follow myself down. Well, no trap, but I do see like a tail imprint there from slapping. So I'll go get the gloves and pull it up and see what we got. Yeah, just a little guy, maybe 15 pounds or so. Caster's still good. There's raccoon tracks coming up here, so I think I got this guy before raccoons came through, because they definitely want to set that off. But yeah, just a little guy. Some bigger guys. He might be the smallest of the day. No, he's pretty close to that one there. But we got a couple more beaver sets. I think we got 1, 2 beaver sets and 2, 4, 6 muskrat sets left, and that's it for the day. So I walked up on this spot. I've got my muskrat set over there, not touched. Check my T85, and I got a muskrat in my beaver set. How's that work? Oh well, I mean, I'll take it. That's for sure. I'll get this reset and we'll keep moving. So there's a big creek that runs right on the opposite side of this tree here. And before, there's hardly any water in it now, but now there's, I don't know, I think I counted 3 or 4 dams in there. Well, it's flooded all of this out. And there's these signs of, like, these beavers are pushing stuff up on the bank here. And it's pretty, it's about 1.5 feet. Back there, it's, you know, closer to 2 feet, but yesterday I set a 330 in there. In Iowa, your 330s have to be completely submerged. So, which is just, it's got about 2 inches of clearance from the surface of the water, but I was for sure thought I was going to get something in there last night. But over here in this creek, and you can see here where they're coming up, there's just a big hole in this, drops off, and you see they're throwing stuff around. But if I could put a 330 above water, I'd shove one right in there. I bet that would be money. But this creek is fully backed up. And for sure, a couple years ago, you could walk across this and not even need waterproof boots. It was dry. Not dry, but you could jump over it. With this big dam. This is the first one. So I got a muskrat set there. So they're using this. There's some fresher stuff on the other side, and they're starting to build food caches over there. But after I'm done with this weekend, I think I'm going to save all the beaver in here for spring. I know that they're in here. Nobody's going to come in here and trap them up this winter. At least that I think of. Nobody should really know that there's even anything back there, but we'll do a recap back at the truck and go over what we got today. So I'd say today wasn't too bad. Got 4 beavers, 2 rats. 2 of the beavers are much bigger than the other ones. I'm gonna guess these guys are 1.5 years. Not this last year's spawn, but the year before. I'm gonna take a guess and say that this beaver's probably 50 pounds. And we got 2 little rats. So, man, so that puts me at what? 9 beavers and 2 rats for the year. So we're gonna do another check tomorrow and pull stuff, and it's a lot of work just to do. Let traps sit for 2 nights, but gotta get it in while you can. So cool. Well, appreciate you guys watching, and I will check traps tomorrow.